I'm going to do here is go over what happens if you make a mistake when you're doing when you're packaging a purchase order line, and you may not have gotten all the purchase order lines on the PO when you were packaging it, or for whatever reason you need to remove a purchase order line from a PO. You can see here on my recent pages I've been to the review PO page and also the review PO line page in acquisitions. You can click on the acquisitions link and select review purchase order if you want to review a purchase order. That's what we're going to do now. So I've got two purchase orders here, and what I wanted to do was to actually get these 5 on a purchase order that I had just created, and instead it created 2 different purchase orders. So what I want to do is I'm going to remove these 5 items from purchase order 2002 and then just start over again. So we're going to click the ellipsis, click edit, and then go to PO line list, and you can click the ellipsis to the right of the PO line title and then just click remove from order. And I don't want to delete the purchase order lines, so what I'm not doing is I'm not going to click the delete PO, because if you click delete PO, that's going to not only remove your purchase order but all the purchase order lines that are on this, and we don't want to have to re-enter the purchase order lines again. So instead click edit, PO line list, and then just go down the list of PO lines and click remove from order. And we have 2 more. Okay, and what it does when you remove it is it says that the PO line is in review, which is good. That's what we want it to be in. So going back to purchase order review, you see I've got 0 items in this purchase order, so now I can go ahead and delete the purchase order, and it's not going to delete all those purchase order lines. And the purchase order lines are, let's see, going to be under review here. Okay, and they're in the unassigned tab. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take all of those purchase order lines that I removed from the purchase order that I just deleted and put them into the status of manual packaging, so we can repackage these onto a PO. And so what I had just done with this title was I went to purchase order lines review. I was on the unassigned page, and where right now it says in review, what we want to do is click on edit and then click on save and continue, and that's going to change the status to manual packaging. So again, we're going to go to purchase order lines review, unassigned, click edit, and then click Save and Continue, and just repeat that process. Okay, so now what we should see is all 5 of those PO lines. Well, interestingly, I have 7, so one of these is probably supposed to be packaged on, or 2 more. I have 2 more that are probably going to be repackaged on a different purchase order. But that's how you would remove the purchase order lines from a purchase order that you've messed up. And at this point, you can create a new PO for these purchase order lines. So actually what I'm going to do right now is go back to the purchase order review page, and I still have these other 18 to deal with. So I'm going to do the same process. What I'm going to do is click on Edit, and then PO line list, and I'm going to remove all these purchase order lines from that PO and delete that PO and just completely start over again. So again, what we're going to do is click on Edit, and then remove from order. Alright, so what I've done is I've just removed all of those purchase orders from the purchase order lines from the purchase order, and then I changed the status to manual packaging. And I'm going to go back and look at the purchase order, and it should say 0 items are on it, and it does, and it says in review. I'm just going to delete this purchase order because we're not going to use it, and there's no purchase order lines on there, and click Confirm. And okay, it says your request to delete a PO has been submitted. So I guess at some point it's going to run a job and delete the purchase order. The other ones seem to go away almost immediately, but this one is hanging around a while until the job finishes. Let's try refreshing the screen and see if it goes away. Whoops. We want to go to purchase order review. Oh, and it did. Okay, so that's been deleted. And at this point, we should be able to go back to package, and we can go and reselect the items that we want to package onto a new purchase order.